This is our next topic, plasma protein binding. So in previous lectures we have already completed that solution stability and plasma stability in this unit. So at the end of this session, you know about what are the proteins which are present in plasma and how the binding interactions and what kind of parameters which influencing on protein binding and different effects of protein binding. So what is unbound drug and what is bound drug? Okay, so these are the contents. First, introduction part, introduction about the plasma protein binding and importance, and the second one, plasma protein binding fundamentals. So what are the basic fundamentals to learn plasma protein binding? And after that, chiral molecules. If your compound having any chirality, then how that protein will bind? That chiral molecule, how it will be bind with your protein or the plasma containing proteinous molecules. And plasma protein binding effects, PPB effects, how it will be effect on distribution process and therapeutic activity, pharmacological activity of a drug substance, how it will be influenced. If for example low binding capacity, what is the effect in distribution and in therapeutic target site, at the site of the therapeutic active site, and also clearance, how it will be clear, and especially in case of BBB, if plasma protein binding is more, how the molecule it can cross the BBB and what it affects on blood brain barrier or entry of the drug molecule into drug substance or a compound into through the blood brain barrier, and what are the strategies we required, we need to modify. There are some different modification strategies are there during the discovery process. You should must maintain optimum plasma protein binding. So these are the different contents about the plasma protein binding interactions. Let us discuss one by one. The first one is introduction part. So here, any drug substance or any compound, mostly a majority of pharmaceutical treatment strategies during the disease state, the drug treatment strategy which use bloodstream, the circulatory system, by which the drug substance or the drug compound it may delivered into bloodstream first. Okay, then after that, so most delivery routes are what in disease target case in treatment of the pharmaceutical treatment strategies. So most of the drug delivery systems are drug delivery route of administration, such as oral dosing or IV route of administration and intraperitoneal intramuscular, subcutaneous, and transdermal. So by these one of the delivery system or delivery route, the drug molecule which delivered into bloodstream. Once it enters into systemic circulation or bloodstream, it delivered into bloodstream, then after that, that compound which distribute, that compound, it undergo disposition process, or it may distribute to different tissues and organs. So once the drug molecules are in the bloodstream, how it will be distributed to different tissues or to their therapeutic target? How it will be reached? By simple distribution process only. That distribution process or the disposition, it needs some carrier proteins. So that's why the drug molecules are in the bloodstream. They can bind with different constituents which are present in blood. Those are including RBC cells, other leukocytes and platelets, as well as most of the time such as albumin and alpha acid glycoprotein and lipoproteins and erythrocytes and alpha, beta and gamma type of globulins. So these are all present in bloodstream only. So after delivery of a drug compound or a drug substance, that can bind with these kind of proteinous molecules or these kind of different cells for their distribution process. So in the form of bounded form, drug molecule which bound with different proteins which are present in bloodstream. Otherwise it cannot disposited or it cannot distributed. So next, and here some of the plasma proteins can absorb a significant percentage of drug molecules. The drug molecule which absorbs onto the protein, that protein having different sites, binding sites. So binding to plasma protein which affect the pharmacokinetic properties of that drug substance in tissues and blood, as well as the dosing regimen for the drug product. So this binding also influence the PK parameters, pharmacokinetic parameters of the drug molecule. Okay. So next, coming to the fundamentals. So here any drug compound or drug molecules that are dissolved in the bloodstream and it absorbs, not absorption, it absorbs or it binded in an equilibrium rate, in a equilibrium with plasma proteins, which is dissolved in the bloodstream and it bind with the plasma proteins in an equilibrium rate. The drug molecules the interaction of drug molecules with plasma proteins, electrostatic and hydrophobic interactions. Electrostatic interactions and hydrophobic interactions. By these two mechanisms, by these two interactions, the possible interactions with the drug molecules and plasma proteins are electrostatic and hydrophobic. So the binding usually is rapid with the equilibrium time వచ్చేసి 20 milliseconds. Okay, and that depends upon the saturation point. So saturation point nothing but if one protein is present, just example, assume it is a particular one protein is there, then that protein having 3 binding sites. So that 3 binding sites are occupied the drug molecules. The state is nothing but it's saturated, completely saturated. The available of binding sites on plasma protein can be saturated. There is no free binding sites. The drug molecules which occupy the binding sites, so that state is nothing but the saturated. And these kind of interactions, this binding is always a reversible binding, not irreversible binding. It is what only the reversible, because so here this is what the barrier of particular tissue and this is what the bloodstream. So your proteinous molecule like this and your drug molecule may be adsorbed onto the surface or the binded with the protein molecule like this. So it is now bound form. So when it is unbounded, after it reaches to tissue, then immediately the drug molecule may be released from that binding interaction or dissociation. It dissociated from that complex. It dissociated. Association is there and dissociation is there. So binding, the binded protein molecule, the drug molecule which may be dissociated with the protein, and now it is a free drug substance. So this free form of or unbound form of drug only can enters into different tissues. That is the major thing. You just remember, only the free drug molecules can cross that tissue barriers always. So that's why it is a reversible process. So these are acts as a carriers only, the transporters. These proteins are acts as a, all proteins within the plasma are acts as a, reversible carriers. Drug molecule which can bind with that protein and it may be distributed to the target site or different tissues, and it may be dissociated at the site of the tissue. That dissociated or free drug, it can cross that tissue barrier. It enters into different tissues. Only free form of drug which is enters into different tissues, but not in form of binded form. So unbound drug substance are the free drugs molecules only can cross that barrier. Just you should remember that one thing. Okay. So here, but these binding interactions, it may be different with respect to species. So the binding interaction in humans are different. That same drug molecule binding interaction with that of the other animal species may be different. So one example is there. I think I will show you the example also. So the plasma protein concentrations also vary. The plasma protein concentration is very, very important. The sufficient proteins are needed to distribute the drug substance within the bloodstream. So what is the protein concentration present in bloodstream? That is very, very important. Concentration and the species, and also equilibrium rate and what kind of interaction, that is important. Plasma protein concentration, it may be different in situation with the in the condition of healthy in condition and disease in state. So with respect to disease state, the protein concentration may be decreased. Okay. So here, this is what just example. Observe the species, different species. So species differences in plasma protein binding. So here just you can observe this one. One is 90.8% and another one is 19.6% binding interaction only. That is what cephalosporin, fourth generation cephalosporin it is. Ceftriaxone, the human plasma binding interaction is 90.8%. But same that ceftriaxone in the clinical trials, during the clinical trials, the dog here taking another species for clinical trials, then dog plasma protein binding interaction is only 19.6%. But same that drug molecule, it will be different binding interaction. The percentage of binding is different compared with the species to species. And same like another drug example is the jamifenacin. This is what human plasma protein binding. Here the ceftriaxone human it is higher compared with the dog. And here it is in second case jamifenacin case, the human plasma protein binding is 0.01% unbounded one. Rest of the completely bounded. So here we are focusing only unbounded. How much is remaining unbound? And that is depends upon the saturation. So all proteins are saturated. Rest of the portion of rest of the drug molecules are unbound in nature. Unbound within the bloodstream. So human plasma protein binding is 0.01%. Okay. And dog plasma protein it is 0.10%. And rat plasma protein it is 0.20%. So here the unbound or free drug which is present higher concentration in higher percent ratio with respect to rat. So these two are used in a clinical trials, and this one is also different phases of the clinical trials. It may be observed. So the maximum concentration in humans 40 and 74 times higher than that of the dog and rat. So here the 40 with respect to dog and 74 times higher than with the rat. What is that concentration, maximum concentration within the plasma? Okay. And here continuation part, there are two plasma proteins mostly. One is HSA and AGP. These are important plasma proteins. Most of the drug molecules which can bind with these two plasma proteins. So two plasma proteins are most responsible for binding of drug molecules. One is what? Albumin. It is also known as human serum albumin, HSA, human serum albumin, and alpha glycoprotein, alpha acid glycoprotein, AGP. And also rest of these two some other lipophilic drugs which also bound with the which also binded with the plasma proteins, plasma lipoproteins. Then again the lipoproteins law there are different. One is a VHDL, very high density lipoprotein, and HDL, high density lipoproteins, and LDL, low density lipoproteins, and VLDL, very low density lipoproteins. Some of the lipophilic drugs only which can bind with these proteins, these lipoproteins, plasma containing lipoproteins. Okay. So now let us discuss the first two are important, very important with respect to the drug molecules. One is HSA and another one is AGP. So here HSA, human serum albumin, it can bind strongly to organic anions first. Those the functional groups which are present in drug molecule like carboxylic acids and phenols, COO minus, and phenoxide ion, carboxide ion like. But it also can bind to basic and neutral drugs. It is very important. HSA protein is very important to carry the drug molecules within the bloodstream. So here organic anions very strongly binding with organic anion, but after that it can also bind with the basic drugs some basic functional groups or basic drugs and neutral drugs also. So it is the most abundant protein actually within the plasma, 60% of the total plasma protein, and with a concentration 500 to 750 mole. So 35 to 50 mg per ml concentration within the plasma. Okay. Then each drug molecule circulates throughout the body about once every minute. But of this minute, it spends only 1 to 3 seconds in any particular capillary. What about this? This is what like HSCA గురించి చెప్తున్నారు. So each of these molecules which circulates throughout the body every minute. So each and every capillary length ఉంటుంది, but of this minute it spends only 1 to 3 seconds. అంటే ఏంటి? The distribution is very rapid. The binding interaction also very rapid, because these proteinous molecules, which circulate, each molecules can circulate throughout the body about once every minute. So within that minute, 1 to 3 seconds in any particular capillary is present. It circulates, and where it can exchange the transported substances within 3 seconds. It can exchange from bloodstream to tissues and tissues to bloodstream, some waste products and all kind of transported substances, either nutrient substances, either drug molecule. By this mechanism, by this way, our drug molecules can transfer to different regions of the body, to their target sites. So there are totally 585 amino acids are present structurally. It contains 585 amino acids, the HSA. And that 585 amino acids are in a single polypeptide chain. And the molecular weight of that HSA is 66.5 kilodaltons. This is what regarding HSA. And it has 6 binding sites also. So HSA has at least 6 primary binding sites. Okay. So primary binding sites antunnadu ante the 6 types of binding sites are present. Type 1 binding site, type 2 binding site, type 3 binding site. Okay. Again, how many are type 1 present on that? How many are type 2? How many are type 3? I am not revealing the quantity, but only 6 types of binding sites are present. మళ్ళీ దాంట్లో నెంబర్స్ ఎన్ని అని చెప్పట్లేదు. సో ఫస్ట్ టైప్ ఎన్ని నెంబర్స్ ఉన్నాయని చెప్పట్లేదు. దట్ నెంబర్స్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్, డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ ద కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్, డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ ద బయాలజికల్ సిస్టమ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇండివిజువల్. So that HSA has at least 6 primary binding sites with high specificity. And the most common binding sites are 1 and 2. Binding site 1 and binding site 2 are mostly observed with the transportation of drug molecules. And here, a large number of secondary binding sites are present with the low affinity and non-saturable. The number is very high, so that's why it is non-saturable. A large number of secondary binding sites also present with low affinity value, and also they are non-saturable. Okay. So example here, one albumin molecule, only one albumin molecule can bind up to 30 imipramine molecules, can weakly bind, not that much of strongly. So one albumin molecule can moderately or weakly bind up with 30 imipramine molecules. Imipramine, it is a CNS drug, antidepressant, I think. Binding is primarily by hydrophobic interaction here. The primary natural function of these human serum albumins are to maintain the blood pH. That is the primary function actually. blood pH and osmotic pressure. By these concentration gradients, either pH or osmotic pressure, especially the osmotic pressure, it can transport the molecules throughout the body from the bloodstream. ఏదైనా ఒకటి డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలి, సిస్టమిక్ సర్క్యులేషన్ లోపలికి రావాలి. సిస్టమిక్ సర్క్యులేషన్లోకి వచ్చినాక ఎక్కడికి వెళ్తుంది, ఇట్ మే బీ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటెడ్ త్రూఅవుట్ ద బాడీ, డిఫరెంట్ టిష్యూస్ అండ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఆర్గన్స్, డిఫరెంట్ పార్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ ద బాడీ. So this is what the primary function of or natural function of the HSA, human serum albumin. And now this is what AGP, alpha acid glycoprotein. So it mostly binds with the basic drugs, amine containing drugs, and it also binds hydrophobic compounds. Those are steroids. And its concentration in the blood is 15 mol, 0.5 to 1 mg per ml. And in some disease state, it can reach a concentration of 3 mg per ml. That depends upon the condition of the biological system. And here, only 181 amino acid residues are present in its structure. It is also single polypeptide chain, and it has a molecular weight that is 44 kilodaltons. Okay. So then there is it has a high carbohydrate content actually in its structure, 45%. So once carbohydrate content undante em ostadi, hydroxyl groups vastayi. What is the definition of carbohydrates? What is the definition of carbohydrates?
Sweet like biomolecules.
Definition only, exactly the chemical definition. Polyhydroxy what?
Aldehydes or
Aldehydes
ketones.
or ketones. So polyhydroxy antunnadu akkada. So that may be somewhat acidic environment. So here that's why it has a very high carbohydrate content, that is 45%, and a very acidic isoelectric point. That is what the isoelectric point is 3. Okay. And it has one binding site per molecule. So number of AGP molecules which are present in bloodstream, number of HSA molecules also present in bloodstream, but we are concentrating only one molecule. Okay, now the AGP has one binding site per one molecule. But HSA ఏముంది అక్కడ మనకి 6 binding sites are there primarily. But here in AGP, which binds compounds primarily by non-specific hydrophobic interaction, no structural specificity for this. It can bind compounds primarily by non-specific hydrophobic interactions. Okay, and here so primary function is to carry the steroids. మనకి HSA primary function ఏముంది, that will maintain pH and osmotic pressure to transfer the nutrient substances or any transport materials. So here the AGP primary function is what? To carry the steroids throughout the body. Okay, and another HSA like acidic drugs గురించి చూద్దాం. So acidic drugs that can bind to HSA, that is what the classification also. Anions అన్నారు కదా, so COO minus and phenols also. So the acidic drugs that bind to HSA, it further classified into different types that based on their binding characteristics. So these types demonstrate the wide range of binding modes of drugs to HSA. అవేంటో చూద్దాం. డిఫరెంట్ బైండింగ్ మోడ్స్ అంటున్నాడు కదా. సో క్లాస్ 1 డ్రగ్స్ అండ్ క్లాస్ 2 డ్రగ్స్. There is a binding site name, it is warfarin binding site. Binding site name is what? Warfarin and diazepam. So this is class 1 type of binding. So these class 1 type of drugs which binded more strongly with HSA, those are warfarin and diazepam. Okay, so in each HSA there are 1 to 3 binding sites per molecule. Totally primarily 6 వచ్చాయి. ఓకేనా? So here in each molecule for class 1 drugs 3 up to 3 binding sites are present. నేను అందుకే మీకు ఏం చెప్తున్నాను, సో హియర్ లైక్ దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ ఇచ్చేసి అనుకుందాం. సో 1 2 3 and the fourth one, and this is fifth one, and this is sixth one, right? So class 1 type of binding sites, these kind of binding sites are present. Any present I know malli again 3 are present, 1 2 3. So that's why the class 1 typified by warfarin diazepam site, it is the drugs which can bind warfarin like and diazepam like substances, they can bind very strongly. And here each molecule of HSA having 2 to 3 or one of these 3. So 1 to 3 binding sites per molecule. These kind of sites, same like property of these kind of sites. Okay, so next same like that indomethacin site. This is what indomethacin site or cardiovascular site antuntaru maybe, sorry, inflammatory I think, right? Class 2 drugs are exemplified by indomethacin, so which can binds only moderately, which binds with the protein moderately to HSA. And here it has again 6 binding sites per HSA molecule. And when unayanta second one, so here the second type of binding sites are how many are present for each molecule? Up to 6 binding sites are present. Followed or not? అర్థమవుతుందా? Class 1 type of binding site, class 2 binding site. So class 1 drugs are what? Warfarin and diazepam. And class 2 drug is what? Indomethacin site. So here each molecule 6 binding sites. Primarily మనకు ఉన్నాయని only 6 binding sites. So దీంట్లో the first type వచ్చేసి ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి? 3 are there. And second type are there similar. These 6 are similar. So that's why comes under 2, classification 2. So next classification 3 కి వచ్చేస్తుంది. Okay. So in class 3 drugs, phenytoin, it is an example. Class 3 drugs, it binded with site 3, warfarin binding site, indomethacin binding site, and phenytoin like CNS drugs. Okay, so here in this how many binding sites are present? It has a weak HSA. Ikkademoni is very strong. The class 1 is strong binding, it is moderate binding, and class 3 for what? Weaker section, weak binding. So these 3 are 1 2 3 binding sites are for acidic drugs. ఇదంతా దేని గురించి డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం? ఫర్ ఓన్లీ acidic binding. Acidic drugs can bind with the HSA. ఓకే, ఫాలోడ్ ఆర్ నాట్? అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here 1 2 and 3. Okay, so next site is what? Fourth site. So మనకి 1 2 3 these 3 different types, different binding sites are acidic drugs. Acidic drugs can bind one type, site 1, site 2 and site 3. Then again this first site is 3 per each molecule, and these are 6 per each molecule, and these are many. I think it is many. Yes. So these are many binding sites. These kind of third type of binding sites are present many on per one molecule. Okay. So this is what? Warfarin diazepam, indomethacin, and phenytoin. So binding proteins enti HSA, HSA, and HSA. So here it is saturable one, saturable and non-saturable, some are mixed one, and here it is completely non-saturable one. Okay. So here the association constant ఎంత ఉంటుంది? 10 to the power of 4 to 6. Strong binding, moderate binding, and weak binding. So binding sites ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి for each molecule? These kind of binding sites. 3 are present, 6 are present, and so many are present. So this is what? Complete acidic drug binding with HSA. So now come to the basic part, basic drugs. So some basic and neutral drugs also can bind to HSA. So those are what class 4 and class 5 and class 6. Next remaining ఏమున్నాయి మనకు sites ఇక్కడ total 6 అన్నాం కదా. Okay, so here 1 2 3 for acidic drug substances. So next one 3 4 5 6 sorry 4 5 6 are basic drug substances along with the neutral drugs. So class 4 is for digitoxin. This is what the digitoxin binding site. Okay, so not saturable it is also. And the next class 5, especially for basic drugs such as erythromycin, which bind to HSA and it can be saturated. Some limited kind of class 5 sites are present, so that's why per each molecule. And basic drug, that is imipramine, it is class 6th binding site. The classification of drugs antuntaru class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5, class 6. Class 1 to 3 are acidic drugs, class 4 to 6 are basic drugs, depends upon their binding sites. Binding site 1, binding site 2, binding site 3, binding site 4, binding site 6 up to. Okay, and finally some lipoproteins also bind to lipophilic basic and neutral compounds. Examples వచ్చేసి ఉన్నాయి Probucol etretinate. So these are the lipoproteins binding drugs. The next one, so here highly water soluble compounds అనుకోండి, for example they are highly unbound in nature. They are highly unbound in nature. Highly water soluble compounds typically are highly unbound. Examples such as like caffeine and ketamine. Okay, so this is what the chart about that. Class 4, class 5 and class 6 drugs, basic drugs. These are non-ionized and basic drugs. Examples చూడండి, digitoxin, erythromycin and imipramine. So plasma saturation, there is no plasma saturation, and it may be the saturation possible and this saturation also possible. These are what the binding proteins, HSA and HSA, non-saturation, non-saturable and non-saturable, all are. So here AGP is saturable. So these are just acidic drugs and basic drugs with HSA. So now coming to effect of chirality. So chirality also affects the binding of compounds to plasma proteins. That effect also influence on the distribution, metabolism and renal clearance. So it may be different. The clinical significance is greater with higher binding in disease state. So here the point is the stereoselectivity is very important. What kind of drug molecule it is? The stereoselectivity of binding which varies with animal species. Like example here, this is what a stereoselectivity example in plasma protein binding. So enantiomer, plus enantiomer is there, dextroenantiomer is there and levoenantiomer is there. So what is this percentage unbound ఎంత ఉంటుంది? Okay, you can take some examples. So here the first drug is propranolol, beta blocker. So dextroenantiomer and levoenantiomer. So this is what the enantiomeric ratio. Okay, so dextroenantiomer అయిందనుకోండి, the percentage unbound ఎంత ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ? 12% of unbound. Here it is in this case 11% only. So what is the warfarin? మనకి ఇక్కడ ఎక్కువ డిఫరెన్స్ ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది చూడండి, లైక్ దిస్ వన్ ఎండాక్రినోన్, ద రేషియో ఎంత ఉంది? 3 ఉంది. సో హియర్ 0.3 అండ్ 0.9. అండ్ వార్ఫారిన్ చూడండి, సో డెక్స్ట్రో వార్ఫారిన్ అండ్ లివో, వన్ ఈజ్ అ డెక్స్ట్రో ఎనాన్షియోమర్ అండ్ లివో ఎనాన్షియోమర్. Okay, so here 1.2 and 0.9. In case of disopyramide 27 and 39, here it is greater. డిఫరెన్స్ చూడండి. అండ్ వెరాపామిల్ calcium blocker ID, right, 6.4 to 11. So these kind of percentage unbound remaining into the bloodstream that depends upon the chirality or chiral molecule also which influence the percentage unbound or the plasma protein binding. Okay, so these are the effects. Plasma protein binding, how it will be affect on distribution, metabolism and clearance and pharmacology also. So most of the times this plasma protein binding we can measure. How we can measure that? For example, here 100 mg dose is there. So how much is bounded one and how much is, so that is indicated as a B, binded or bounded one, and remaining is unbounded one. So this hypothesis is known as what? According to the free drug hypothesis, how much it is unbounded one, how much it is free drug is present in bloodstream. The drug plasma protein complex cannot permeate through the cell membranes by any transport mechanism, especially the passive transcellular or paracellular mechanism. Okay, so that's why compulsory the drug molecule in a free form. Unbound form of drug only can cross that membrane. Okay now, but there is no chance. The drug plasma protein complex cannot permeate. అంటే ఇది ఎలా ఉండాలి? రివర్సిబుల్ నేచర్లో ఉండాలి కంపల్సరీ. ఆఫ్టర్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఇట్ డిసోసియేట్, ద డ్రగ్ మాలిక్యూల్ విల్ డిసోసియేట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ ప్రోటీన్. ప్రోటీన్కి బైండ్ అవ్వాలి, ఇట్ మే బి డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ టు దేర్ టార్గెట్ సైట్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ టిష్యూస్. ఆఫ్టర్ టిష్యూ లొకేషన్లో ఏం కావాలి? ఇట్ మే బి డిసోసియేట్. It released, the drug molecule may be the reversibly. So initially it is bounded one and finally it converted into the unbounded one. So bloodstream, after absorption it enters into the bloodstream. It is a free nature first. Then with the plasma protein it can bounded, binding with the plasma protein and formation of a complex. What is that complex? Drug with plasma protein complex. Then finally that complex may be it may be the complex or the drug molecule may be released from that complex and free, and it may be remains free, otherwise it cannot cross that barrier. So only the free drug which passes through membranes to reach different tissues, and only the free drug molecules are available. Okay na, for metabolism also. డ్రగ్ ప్లాస్మా ప్రోటీన్ కాంబినేషన్లో ఉందనుకోండి, దట్ కాంప్లెక్స్ ఇట్ డస్ నాట్ అండర్గో ద మెటబాలిజం ప్రాసెస్. ఓన్లీ ద ఫ్రీ ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ డ్రగ్, ఫ్రీ డ్రగ్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ ఆర్ అవైలబుల్ ఫర్ లివర్ మెటబాలిజం అండ్ క్లియరెన్స్ ఆల్సో ఫర్ రీనల్ ఎక్స్క్రీషన్. సో హౌ మచ్ ఎఫెక్టివ్లీ ఇట్ బైండెడ్, that will decide the metabolism, distribution and clearance. So depends upon the binding interaction, these parameters may be changed. So therefore, plasma protein binding can confine the compounds in the bloodstream and limit penetration of drug molecules to the target tissues to produce the pharmacological effect. Once the distribution slow అయింది అనుకోండి, metabolism also and renal also and especially the pharmacological activity also may be reduced into other body tissues also and into clearance of organs, liver and kidney. So here also that may be changes. So it affects these kind of mechanisms: distribution, metabolism, excretion and pharmacological actions. Those are the plasma protein binding effects. Okay, so especially here two factors, there are two complementary factors of plasma protein binding. How we can measure that? What is the rate actually? So these factors will help to to find out the extent of binding at equilibrium or dissociation constant Kd. So what is the percent bounded one and what is the percent is unbounded one within the plasma and within the tissue also, at the site of tissue also. So that is what extent of binding at equilibrium. That is the first factor. And the second factor is what is the rate of that equilibrium? Nothing but what is the rate of its association and after dissociation also. What is the binding rate and what is the dissociation rate? Association and dissociation rate constant Ka and Kd it is denoted as. Okay, these two factors especially will decide. So here another diagrammatic presentation is there. This is what just you observe this. This one is a biological membrane, semi-permeable membrane. Okay, at this position. So this is what the tissue and this one is the bloodstream, right? So here now your drug molecules which are in complex with the plasma proteins. So that's why here the indication is what EFB. Okay, fraction of bounded drug, that is what FB, fraction of bounded. And here now the fraction of unbounded or free drug. These are the free drugs. Only our condition is what here for accurate absorption or passive permeation ki em kavali ikkada compulsory free form lo undali. So that will decide, depends on rate of dissociation is important here. How it will be dissociated, what is the rate, how much rapidly it dissociated. So that's why these kind of binding interactions are completely reversible binding interactions. Okay, so here this is what, this one also reversible from here to here. Tissues ko chestundi, from tissues to again bloodstream, and after it enters into the clearance organs like kidney and liver. So here this is fraction of bound within the tissue, this one is within the tissue. So now initially it is free and again free, then it bounded one with the target tissue, with the target tissue. So this kind of penetration of drug into the target tissue or clearance organ, that depends upon the fraction of unbound in plasma. This fraction of unbounded drug molecule will only permeate. So that's why these factors affect the absorption through semi-permeable membrane and distribution, metabolism and excretion of drug molecules. So that's why the plasma protein binding is very, very important. What is its dissociation rate after binding? అది అలాగే బౌండెడ్ కాంప్లెక్స్లోనే ఉందనుకోండి, it is not possible. It does not cross the biological semi-permeable membrane or biological barriers. Okay, so that is the greater effect of this. And if, for example, rare cases చూడండి ఇక్కడ, if the drug molecules are highly bounded one and so at that time ఏమన్నట్లు, the unbound is very low. Okay, that is simple concept. If the drug molecules are highly bounded one, so that means what? The low percentage of unbounded drug molecules are present within the plasma, because highly bounded nature antunnadu, right? Here it is already highly bounded, so remaining ఏంటుంది, low percentage of unbound is present. And also highly bounded and tightly bound. So when it tightly bounded, the dissociation rate may be decreased. If it is a weakly bounded one అయింది అనుకోండి, dissociation is very fast after reaching their target site. ఏదైతే దాని థెరపెటిక్ టార్గెట్ సైట్కి రీచ్ అవుతుందో అప్పుడు టైట్గా బౌండ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, దట్ మే బీ somewhat slower rate of dissociation. If it is a weak bond, so that is showing higher dissociation rate. So that rate will decide how much it efficiently distributed and absorbed and metabolized and it reaches to their target site. Okay, so slow dissociation to plasma proteins, these effects avento chudandi, it retains if it is highly bounded and tightly bounded. అలాంటప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, ఇట్ రిటైన్ ద డ్రగ్ విత్ ఇన్ ద ప్లాస్మా కంపార్ట్మెంట్, ఇట్ డస్ నాట్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ బికాస్ స్లో డిసోసియేషన్ and highly bounding nature and tightly bounding nature. More percentage was bounded and tightly bounded and rate of dissociation is slow. So that leads to this condition, which leads to these are the different effects which retains the drug within the plasma and which restricts the distribution. It stops the distribution process. The drug, it do not enters into target tissue. So finally reduction of the volume of distribution. And it also decreases the metabolism, clearance and half-life. Half-life ఏమవుతుంది, prolong అవుతుంది. Enhancement of half-life. Within the plasma it is only present. It does not distribute. So that's why within the plasma half-life is high. I'm not asking tissue half-life. Only plasma. Within the plasma half-life may be prolonged. And it does not enters into the brain. It restricts that limits the brain penetration also because there is a BBB. That BBB cross చేయాలంటే ఏముండాలి, ఫ్రీ డ్రగ్గే ఉండాలి. సో హియర్ దిస్ మచ్ ఆఫ్ స్లో డిసోసియేషన్, ఈ కండిషన్లో ఏమవుతుంది, ఇట్ లిమిట్స్ ఇట్ రిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్ ద బ్రెయిన్ పెనిట్రేషన్. సో హియర్ విచ్ రిక్వైర్స్ హయ్యర్ లోడింగ్ డోసెస్, అప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది, మల్టిపుల్ డోస్ని ఎన్హాన్స్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. In this case only require higher loading doses but lower maintenance doses. Okay, so this is what these are the effects of in this case if molecules are highly bounded and tightly bounded and having low dissociations. So just this what yeah, so just you observe this table. ADME properties are permissive or restrictive. When it is acceptable, when it is limited or restricted antaru chudandi. If the percentage bound is high anta and dissociation rate constant is slow anta. So this is what indaka మనం చెప్పుకున్న case, the first case. So that is the ADME properties are lesser or restricted. So here the percentage bound is high and dissociation rate also high, it is important. So the permissive it may be or the ADME properties also accurate. And here the percentage bound is low అంటున్నాడు, అంటే రిమైనింగ్ ఏముంటుంది, మిగిలిపోయి ఉంటుంది ప్లాస్మాలోనే, బౌండ్ అవ్వకుండా మిగిలిపోయి ఉంటుంది. ఫస్ట్ రిమైనింగ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అన్బౌండెడ్ వన్, ఫ్రీ డ్రగ్ విత్ ఇన్ ద ప్లాస్మా. మనకు బౌండ్ అవ్వాలి, డిసోసియేట్ అవ్వాలి, అది కాన్సెప్ట్. బట్ హియర్ in third case lower bounded అంట, అంటే పర్సెంటేజ్ ఆఫ్ బౌండింగ్ డ్రగ్ సబ్స్టాన్స్ ఇస్ వెరీ లో. మనం ఒక 80% 80 mg ఇచ్చేస్తే ఒక 10 mg బౌండ్ అవుతుంది, రిమైనింగ్ 60 mg అలాగే ఉండిపోతుంది అనుకోండి, 60-70. సో అదేంటంటే లో పర్సెంటేజ్ బౌండింగ్ అంటుంటాం. లో పర్సెంటేజ్ బౌండింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్సో లో కేస్, స్లోవర్ రేట్ ఆఫ్ డిసోసియేషన్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ పర్మిసివ్ బట్ నాట్ అప్ టు నాట్ రీచింగ్ టు ద Cmax because the percentage bound is low. Okay, it is permissive but there is no, we are not getting that much of Cmax concentration, and here it is low and here it is fast, it is also acceptable through the membrane. Okay, so these are the ADME effects in vivo ADME effects with respect to percentage bound nature and also dissociation rate constant. These two parameters are very very important in plasma protein binding concentrations. How much drug was bounded form and how much drug was unbounded form, and what is the bounded one dissociation rate constant. These two parameters will decide the ADME properties of that drug molecule. Okay, so next in that effects లో ఫస్ట్ వన్ చూడండి, ఇంపాక్ట్ ఆఫ్ ప్లాస్మా ప్రోటీన్ బైండింగ్ ఆన్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ పైన ఎలా ఇంపాక్ట్ పడుతుందో చూడండి. సో జస్ట్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ ద టేబుల్ ఫస్ట్. ఫ్రీ డ్రగ్ విత్ ఇన్ ద ప్లాస్మా ఇట్ ఈస్ 4%. వాల్యూమ్ ఆఫ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఈస్ 0.2 ఓన్లీ. అండ్ ఫర్ ibuprofen less than 1 అనుకోండి, సో దట్ ఈస్ 0.14. అండ్ నాఫ్సిలిన్ 10 ఇట్ ఈస్ 0.63. సో నథింగ్ బట్ రిస్ట్రిక్టివ్ ఆర్ పర్మిసివ్, లైక్ సేమ్ ఇందాక మనం చెప్పుకున్న డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ లాగా. సో దీస్ ఆర్ రిస్ట్రిక్టివ్. furosemide, ibuprofen and nafcillin and warfarin, these are restrictive. Volume of distribution is low, less volume of distribution, because the free drug percentage is there. Even though permissive cases ఏమన్నా చూడండి. So decipramine 8% is free drug within the plasma, but the volume of distribution is 40%, 40 liters per kg. And imipramine it is 5, the volume of distribution is 30 liters per kg, like vinblastine and vincristin. So these are what impact on distribution. Next, another, this is very very important. There are some scenarios with respect to volume of distribution and PPB, bounded or unbounded. ఇక్కడ చూడండి. సో హియర్ V plasma అంటున్నాడు. సో వాల్యూమ్ ఆఫ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఇన్ ప్లాస్మా, వాల్యూమ్ ఇన్ ప్లాస్మా, అండ్ V టిష్యూ, వాల్యూమ్ ఆఫ్ టిష్యూ ఇన్ ద బాడీ, అండ్ FU plasma అంటున్నాడు. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ అన్బౌండ్ డ్రగ్ విత్ ఇన్ ద ప్లాస్మా అండ్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ అన్బౌండెడ్ డ్రగ్ విత్ ఇన్ ద టిష్యూ. మనకి ఇక్కడ కావాల్సింది ఈ వీడియో ఒకటి చూడండి. సో ఫస్ట్ కేస్ 1, ద ఫస్ట్ పాసిబుల్ సినారియో విత్ ఇన్ ద ప్లాస్మా ప్రోటీన్ బైండింగ్. ఈ 4 సినారియోస్ మెన్షన్ నడుస్తుంటుంది. సో ఫస్ట్ వన్, ఇఫ్ PBB ఈజ్ హై, ప్లాస్మా ప్రోటీన్ బైండింగ్ హై ఉందంట అంటే ఏమన్నట్లు అక్కడ మోర్ పర్సంటేజ్ బౌండ్ అయిపోయింది, రిమైనింగ్ అన్బౌండ్ ఏముంటుంది, ఇట్ ఈస్ లో. ద ప్లాస్మా అన్బౌండెడ్ ఈజ్ లో. జస్ట్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ దిస్, plasma unbounded is low but PPB is high. So in that case, which results lower volume of distribution. Distribution may be lower. Okay. So same here, low binding but unbounded plasma concentration is very high. And it remains ready to bounded or not. So this is what higher. The volume of distribution is very high. ఇదంతా these two are for specific and non-specific చూడండి. If non-specific binding tissue is high and volume of distribution also high, okay, and non-specific binding is low, here it is low. These 4 scenarios, 4 possible scenarios, okay, are very very important with respect to the plasma protein binding or effects of plasma protein binding with respect to distribution, how much it effectively distributed. So next, clearance. It also affects on clearance. So here propranolol is there. So 90% bound drug within the plasma is 90%, greater than 90%, less than 90%, right? So it is permissive one and it is restrictive one. So liver extraction is very less compared to this propranolol. Warfarin, bound drug within the plasma is 99% are equal, and liver extraction is only 0.3%. It may be restrictive. Okay. And also pharmacology. So pharmacology can be affected by PBB, plasma protein binding. Ella, one of the example I will take here. Yeah. So this one I will explain. Enzyme inhibition jarugutundi akkada. Mechanism is what? Enzyme inhibition. It can be reduced. Eppudu taggindanta, it can be reduced if the compound is bound to plasma proteins. When the drug molecule which binds to plasma protein, at that time the enzyme inhibition may be decreases. This is important. So example chudandi ikkada, inhibition of HIV protease. This is what your target, HIV protease enzyme, okay, by ఎంజైమ్ ఏంటి, బై డ్రగ్ సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఏంటి, VX478. దిస్ ఇస్ యువర్ డ్రగ్ మాలిక్యూల్. ఓకే, దిస్ వన్ ఈస్ ద ఎంజైమ్. సో మెకానిజం ఏంటి ఇక్కడ, దిస్ డ్రగ్ మాలిక్యూల్ విల్ ఇన్హిబిట్ దట్ ఎంజైమ్. సో ఇన్ ప్రజెన్స్ ఆఫ్ బౌండెడ్ వన్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, నాన్ బౌండెడ్ కేసులో, అన్బౌండెడ్ కేసులో ఎలా ఉందో చూడండి. సో ఇన్హిబిషన్ ఆఫ్ HIV protease by VX478 is reduced 2 times if 45% of HSA is added. HSAతో బౌండ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, it may be reduced 2 times. The enzyme inhibition action may be reduced. The potency may be reduced in presence of HSA. So it also affects on pharmacology. So that's why the optimization of plasma protein binding is very, very important. How can we achieve that optimum plasma protein binding? That depends upon the structural modifications strategies. What kind of functional groups we require. So this is what structure modification strategies. Structural modification strategies. I don't want to discuss again what is reduced lipophilicity, reduced acidity, increased basicity. Already previously we have completed these strategies in solution stability and in plasma stability. Okay, so just I'll tell you the outlines. Yeah, quantitative structure activity relationship studies, QSAR studies, have evaluated the physicochemical properties of drug molecule with plasma protein binding. Increasing the lipophilicity, this is first criteria. Increasing the lipophilicity, it is just example. For example, if you have to improve the lipophilicity of a drug substance or the lead molecule, the greatest effect on increasing the PPB. So PPB increase avuthe emoutundi malli, what is the distribution, what is the metabolism, and what is the clearance, like just you have to check it, these all parameters, all pharmacokinetic parameters by structural modification. So this structure modification strategy, in that the first one is reduce lipophilicity. You don't increase that lipophilicity. If you are going to increase lipophilicity, then increase the binding nature. So that's why reduce the lipophilicity up to log D74 for non-acids and log P for acids, up to maximum level to reduce lipophilicity. And to reduce acidity by increasing the pKa of the acid, and also increase basicity character by increasing the pKa of the base, and reduce the non-polar areas, non-polar functional groups or non-polar areas of the lead molecule. Just reduce the non-polar area and increase polar surface area. Reduce the non-polar area and increase the polar surface area. అంటే మనం ఫైనల్గా లిపోఫిలిసిటీని తగ్గిస్తున్నాం చూడండి ఇక్కడ. సో ఇంక్రీజ్ పోలార్ సర్ఫేస్ ఏరియా. This will help to binding with the hydrogen bonding interactions. Increasing PSA, which increases the hydrogen bonding. Okay, so these are the different strategies to improve the PPB or structural modification strategies for getting, by changing these strategies, by modifying the structural modifications in structure or lead molecule, which will helps to maintain optimum plasma protein binding. Okay, so now I will stop over here. With this I will conclude the plasma protein binding is completed.